Start off your afternoons with Ashton and Selo, as they calm your nerves and shine a light into your life. This is the afternoon show with Ashton and Selo.
Thanks for tuning in here to the afternoon show. Today, Ashton and I will be talking about what it means to be awake. People use this word often, but what does it really mean? That plus Ashton's song Spotlight and some uplifting prank calls right here on the afternoon show. But first, enjoy this song. This is a new song by Aloka off his new album, Beautiful Mystery, called Wake Up, featuring Srikala.
Wake up, start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground. Wake up, start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground. Eyes open, aloha world, feeling golden. His eye unfurled, stop the kettle yawning, crack of dawn, feel the morning breeze, yeah. Checking off my list, journaling my dreams, visualize my future, solidify the scenes. I have my days that I sleep in, today I will rise with the sun. Move the chi through my body and give thanks to the one. It's gonna be a good day, I promise you that. Lucid in the movements and no holding back. I open the door to receive everything I need, always and always, yeah. Wake up, start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground. Wake up, start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground. The sun greets me, my head faces east, amethyst by my noggin to enhance my dreams. Open the windows to greet the air that I breathe. Kiss my beloved, every day she's more lovely. Remember my blessings to keep my head above sea. Raise my hands, let in the sun shine above me. After an hour, my legs unfold from lotus. Meditation, our science, that's no hocus pocus. How you start your day is how the rest of it is flowing. Super green smoothie, that's my daily potion. Berries in my granola, coconut milk, pour it over. That's nourishment for a soldier to fortify my composure. The streets calling me over, my bag over my shoulder. But hold up, may you bless my steps. Start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground. Wake up, start my morning ritual, breathing, get a little physical, reach out, gotta keep my feet on the ground.
are so beautiful. Thanks for staying with us. And now let's get into today's topic. Are you there, Ashton?
I'm here.
Awesome. Brilliant. So, according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, awake means to become conscious or aware of something. And obviously, this word awake is a pretty common word. I would say that most people use this in the context of waking up from a sleep. But for those of us who focus more on spirituality, it means more than that. So, Ashton, in your perspective, what does it mean to be awake?
First of all, I love that definition. Everything's very, I feel, orchestrated from a higher level. So, there's, everything's also like a fractal, I feel like, where it contains the whole, the single item contains the whole blueprint of, the cosmos. So that definition of, to become aware that you're, awake out of your dreams. That definition, I think, is perfect for spirituality too, because all it is a shift in perspective, I think. Awakening is realizing that you are a soul that has multiple lives outside of this earth plane, outside of your body, and that your soul is multidimensional. And I think that's what really being awake is, just an awareness of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who you actually are.
Right, waking up to kind of the whole thing. So in my experience, when I had what a lot of us will call an awakening, as we sometimes call them, I began to become conscious of things that I never even knew existed, kind of like the chakras. I became more aware of my spiritual form and became aware of how beautiful life was. I mean, I saw how things were pretty and that's nice. But when I had an awakening and I started learning about the chakras, that also opened up my physical eyes so that I just saw everything in a whole new way.
I love that. Yeah, it's like a shift in perspective starts to happen, and you start to uncover what's naturally there in the first place. So as being multidimensional, we have our body and our spirit and our emotions, and we start to realize that we pick up other people's thoughts and emotions, and it's all this multidimensional shift. It's like you shift out of your just your mind, your brain, and you're the soul's wisdom comes in, because you realize that's who you are, and it has a higher form of intelligence and a more expanded perspective, where it can just perceive more layers of reality, and that's crazy.
Yeah. When did you first become aware and conscious of that stuff?
It all kind of started for me. If I really think about it, slowly started and seeds were planted in me in middle school and high school, through the bands I was listening to, for example, Incubus had a bunch of Middle East, Eastern spirituality tattoos and lyrics and profound things they said, and I started to question things. But it really wasn't until I was about 17, and I had my big spiritual awakening. And then from there, everything just kind of snowballed.
Yeah, and what was it? What was the experience like for you when you had that big awakening? What kind of things did you start to become more aware of?
I really started to see it in other people first. I kind of saw that people had this superiority complex where most of the things they said were trying to one up what other people were saying, and I noticed this within a lot of people. I noticed that most of our culture is very just competition and trying to put yourself above others, and then I started to realize that there's most people are just kind of like running on this program that culture's put into them, where they all they get is like from their school and from their TVs, and they don't ever think for themselves. So like while I was thinking about that, I realized like, what does it even mean to think, and who are we as like thinkers, and why is all these people like stuck in their heads? And then I came across the Eckhart Tolle book, and he was talking about how who we really are is like beyond form and beyond words and beyond all of our thoughts and beyond definition. And he talked about the ego and how like our brains, if we're identified with our mind and we don't know who we are as a soul, then the ego traps us in identifying with it, and then we just become like that, trying to one up everyone or whatever, like the classic ego.
Mm-hmm. And then I noticed that even after people do have an awakening and they become conscious and aware of spirituality and metaphysics and things like that, it can get to the point where, say somebody does something and they promote spirituality and they do all these things, and then they start to get a big following, and then it gets to the point where maybe their ego kind of comes back into play. But have you noticed this before, where like people become awakened and then all of a sudden they kind of lose their ego, but then somehow it comes back to them? Have you seen that in anybody before?
Oh man, it's like too many people, unfortunately. You see that quite a bit, and that's why for me, like spirituality and the awakening was really that like disidentification from the ego mind. And so, like, say you're a musician and like you have all these spiritual lyrics, and you blow up and all of a sudden you're a millionaire and everyone's worshiping you, and like you're like a sex symbol all of a sudden and all this stuff. And if you don't see yourself as like a soul with like more lives than just this one, you're like, wow, like your whole identity is wrapped up in this little life. And you're like, you start having, your mind starts having like superiority complex issues, and you're like, you see yourself as above others, but that's just all through the, like thoughts. Mm-hmm. Like who we are is beyond thoughts. So if your identity is wrapped up in thoughts, then it's very easy to get dragged around by them and like forget that we're all one and we're all connected and we're all on the same level, regardless of your money status or your music status or your art status or, mm-hmm. posting videos online. So I don't know, it's kind of like I've been realizing there's like, it's kind of, you gotta like get back to basics, or like spread the basics of spirituality as well. Cause like the higher advanced stuff, it's easy to, I guess, get ungrounded with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was hearing somebody talk last night, and it was about something different, but what they said is that sometimes people, they get to where they were going, and then they forget where they came from. So I think it's important that when people do become awakened, and they do all this great stuff, and then they get a big following, it's important to remember where you came from. And initially, it is, we all come from the same thing. We all come from the same light. And so we are all connected, and we're all equal, which I think is important to promote. But, if you are becoming a huge icon or symbol or whatever, it really is important to remember where you came from.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, there's all these people telling you that they love you for the first time in your life, and, like everywhere you go, people know who you are and all that, but it's like, before that, you're just the average human like everyone else, and anyone could be along that path, and, what channels through us is like spirit and that universal mind. Our ideas that we're getting, that make us so great and elevate us, like, aren't even ours. They are ours from a higher perspective, but they're not just fully ours, they're everyone's. And we just happen to channel them. So,
mm-hmm.
I think that's important too, to help us remember.
Definitely. I think it's a great topic, and we'll talk a little bit more about this after our next segment, which is the song spotlight. So, Ashton, I'll let you go ahead and take that away.
Awesome. The song we're going to listen to today is a Desert Dwellers track called The Great Mystery. The reason I picked this track was because they had a little sample in there, and it's the title track off the album, but they have a little sample in there about how life is like always a mystery in front of us, and that profound, like, I feel like surrendering to that unknown can really free us and help us be present in the moment, because there really isn't a destination, and where we're going is never ending. So surrender to the great mystery and check out this track.
Life is like a moment. We're born out of a mystery, and we die into a mystery.
فتح عافيتك وين ما رحتي ونياك
That's The Great Mystery by Desert Dwellers. Thank you, Ashton, for bringing this to everyone's attention.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So did you have any final comments on today's topic before we get into our final segment, the uplifting prank calls?
I feel like the awakening process is like a never-ending, unfolding process, and just to remember to focus on your breath and be in the moment and keep surrendering to the process while remaining grounded, and remember compassion and love and kindness are a part of the mission too, and not just like wild, crazy spirituality. And to treat each other good, and the earth and each other is so sacred, and that's part of the awakening too. So yeah, that's it.
Definitely make sure to, like Ashton said, see everybody as a sacred person, because we are all one and we're all sacred.
Yes.
True. So let's get on to the final segment, the uplifting prank calls.
Yay!
Uplifting prank calls.
Four-tier herb shop. May I help you?
Hi, I was just calling to tell you that your soul is so beautiful, and even if other people don't agree with you or don't like you, the universe loves you, and I just want to send you my love and support and tell you that it's all going to be all right, and you can get through anything.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I hope you have a great day.
Compass House.
Hi there. How are you doing today?
Good.
Excellent. I just wanted to call and say that you guys are awesome, and I think the world appreciates everything that you do, even if you don't hear it enough.
Well, thank you. Who's this?
My name is Selo, and I'm just a random caller telling you to have a great day.
Oh, great. Well, thank you very much. You too.
Thank you.
Uplifting prank calls.
There you have it. Uplifting prank calls.
Yay. Always so fun.
It is. It is. Pretty soon I'm going to have to make a compilation of just all of our calls in one video.
Oh, that would be so good to hear all of them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's coming. It's coming. If anybody out there listening would like us to send an uplifting prank call to any of your friends or family, get a hold of us and send us a message because we would love to do that for you. Sweet. Final anything before we end with the final song?
Just do your best and remember that it's okay to put yourself first if you got to do that, and just keep loving yourself and loving others and keep it real, keep it fresh.
Definitely agree. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And we're going to end with this song. This is Mateo Monk, Inner Eye.
Think your way to heaven. You can't collect it in a book. There is no answer to your questions. No one can tell you how it looks. For he who knows is he who sees. Restless mind is the disease. And in this time of world commotion, to be the master of your own mind is the highest devotion. Open up your inner eye. Open like the western sky. When the sun and moon combine, the jewel of a silent mind. Stir up the pond and you muddy the water. Let it settle down before you have a taste. Then you can see all the way to the bottom, and all reflections of the heavens shining upon its face. But some of them, they stumble like the blind, even though their eyes are fine. Because without this inner light, even a noonday sun is an endless night. Open up your inner eye. Open like the western sky. When the sun and moon combine, the jewel of a silent mind. Open up your inner eye. It's the jewel of a silent mind. Talking about that inner eye.
Some of them they stumble like the blind.